in relationships with people, in knowing people. You know people from a long time, you know people a short time, you just meet people. The more that you know a person, are you putting them in a box labeled certainty?
You know, it's a really interesting question because it can be answered yes or no. Sometimes, if the relationship gets habitual, then you can interpret it in a certainty kind of fashion, right? Like, this person's always been in my life, they're always going to be in my life. Sometimes when you just meet someone, maybe you have those new meeting someone feelings and they feel like they'll last forever, you know, like that honeymoon period.
Right.
This is going to last forever.
Right.
So that can feel like certainty. So it can go both ways. But the truth of the matter is, in both of those stories, you're thinking about over there rather than what is. What is, I feel in this moment like this could last forever. I love this feeling. I love being with this person. I'm in this relationship. I'm experiencing it now.
Right. And so do I want to get to know all the details about them, or do I want to just know them in this moment now?
If you know them in this moment well, you do learn about those details just because you can't help but do so. Right? If you're truly in the moment with them, you're going to learn a lot about them. If you're thinking about 10 years from now, you're probably not going to.
Right.
Because you're in a relationship with the fake version of them, the 10 years from now projection version, rather than the real version that's right here in front of you. And what you learn in this moment right now is realer and more tangible anyway. So a little goes a long way.
And the past, too, because we're all telling stories all the time about what we've done and where we've come from and who we are and who we think we are.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, and sometimes that is in an effort to craft certainty. Like, I want her to like me, so I'm going to tell her all the stories I think will make her like me, rather than tell her the stories that are iffy, because that might make her waver in her attraction to me, in my appeal to her. Right? So it doesn't mean you have to just go, you know, what do they call it, full Monty, with your awareness of and your stories and stuff. It'd be more interesting to be full Monty in this moment.
Right. I mean, so where is it with story? I mean, forget the story.
Well, you can forget the story, but sometimes the current moment brings up reflection, and then you get compare you to you, which is extremely powerful. It's a very powerful way to be vulnerable in the moment, is to say, last time this happened, I was this man. This time, I'm this man. That's way different than saying, you know, back in '62, I went on this trip, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Which may be fun and entertaining to talk about, but it's not connection necessarily. It's companionship, sure, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't substitute companionship for deep connection. You can pretend that it substitutes, but it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Right? So you tell a bunch of stories and you feel companionable, but only when you're vulnerable in this moment and honest and authentic in this moment do you really have what we would call connection.
Right.
Do you know how we're making that differentiation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that helpful?
Yeah. So in a lasting relationship, it seems like just a series of connecting the moments.
Correct.
You know,
that's best. You know, Veronica was making a video of one of the morning messages we gave her back in July earlier, yesterday or something. And she said she read us previously having said to her, Homo sapiens share fears with each other. And it's true. Because even when you say, I love you to someone, in there is, and I'm afraid it's going to end. I'm afraid you're going to leave me. I'm afraid I'm going to have a broken heart. I'm afraid you're going to find somebody else, right?
Right.
So Homo sapiens share fears with each other. And it's a survival-based thing. I will show you the things that have scared me. You show me the things that have scared you, so we can protect each other from those things if possible. And it's only when, and if you're actually that conscious, then it's no longer fears. It's consciousness that you're sharing with each other. But it usually is unconscious. So it's, oh God, I'm afraid he really doesn't want to be with me, but I hope he wants to be with me. And where are you when who are you having a relationship with when that's your thought process, right?
Right.
You're not having a relationship with the person sitting in front of you. If you can say, God, I'm really nervous you're breaking up with me, or that you don't like me, or you don't really love me, or whatever your issue is, you're actually having a relationship in this moment.
And with yourself.
Correct.
I mean,
can't get away from that. Because you have to know how you're feeling in order to share it with another. Or at least you have to be willing to explore how you're feeling in order to have a relationship with another. You don't have to have certainty about it, but you have to be willing to sort of flop around in it a little bit. Sometimes men, Veronica, this is one of Veronica's things she's noticed. Sometimes men tell stories about their past as a way to connect. And they usually, in her experience, have 5 to 10 really good stories that get laughs, that girls like, that men appreciate, and they just repeat those because they work. Mm-hmm. And so this talk we're giving with you right now is helping her understand why that bugs her so much. One, because some of her guy friends, she's heard all the, she's like, oh, really, seriously? Dude, do you want to know the last 3 times you told that story? Because I can tell you. I was there, and these were the places, right? Because that's companionship.
Right.
It's not connection. It's, I'll keep you over here. I know exactly what reaction I'll get from you at arm's length by telling you this story that entertains you but doesn't connect you to me.
Yeah, forget the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It'd be very interesting to experiment with that, forgetting the story and instead being in the moment. Because there's plenty right here. It's just hard. We understand. It's hard to be in the moment with anybody. Truly to be in the moment with anybody requires a level of consciousness that's not common. I mean, you guys have it, but, in general populace.
Right.
To choose this moment, this uncertain moment, over a story that gets laughs, a joke, a complaint, a fret, a worry about money or the weather, right? To choose this moment over that. It's like that thing we told you earlier with the bubble. You know exactly what happens if you start with, and that weather, and that president, and that guy. And did you hear about that blah,
Right.
You know just what's going to happen. Right. That's fake certainty, and people will choose it over and over and over again. Because this raw, in the moment uncertainty is difficult.
Mm-hmm. And to be uncertain with the person you're in relationship with. And I don't mean just, a committed relationship or, like everybody, friends mm-hmm. and business, you can't really know mm-hmm. what's going to happen with them.
And the beauty of this is that has been true always. Mm-hmm. And we are sort of just now getting to the point where you guys can say that, you all can say that to each other and not have it mean danger.
Right. Because you're open and ready and willing to
abide in the discomfort without interpreting it as danger. Right. That's the question. Can you abide in uncertainty, in the discomfort of uncertainty, without interpreting it as danger in order to be in the only place where creativity and connection is truly possible?
Right.
And we're not just talking to you right now. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And not only danger, but just, attached to outcome, because we want something, we have desires, but if, we can't be certain, then.
And the truth of the matter is you can't be certain.
Right.
You cannot be certain of anything.
I know.
And the truth, and the really, really, really strangely fascinating consequence of having a survival instinct, which of course we've told you the survival instinct was required to keep you in your bodies long enough for you to get to this point. But a very strange consequence of the survival instinct is the idea that you should disagree with the fact that you're uncertain all the time. And it's just time for that to be higher, very high on the list of things that you bring more consciousness to. I am uncertain all the time. It creates strange feelings in me that I have been programmed to interpret as danger. I'm going to let that be set aside to see what actually is there when I acknowledge the truth that I am an uncertain creature in an uncertain world doing uncertain things. And that's a beautiful, real thing that's been going on my entire incarnational cycle. And I've been pretending it hasn't been all this time.
Well, how about certain that I'm connected with my soul?
We have so many clients, friends, parts of this community that don't feel that certainty in any way, shape, or form, and still keep coming to the meetings and listening to the recordings. It's amazing. They're troopers. I don't think I'm connected to my soul, but Elohim says I am, so I'm just going to keep listening until someday maybe it feels true to me.
I mean, is that the anchor? I mean, that's what I can hold on to.
If you feel it to be true, then you can continue to evolve that relationship. Yes, that'd be great, but not everybody has that.
You can cultivate a belief of that.
Yeah, well, we have clients who would argue with the need for belief in any way. So yeah, we have to deal with that one too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Trust us, this is a topic we deal with frequently.
Can I trust that?
Yeah. Trust, believe, right? That's
Right.
all that thing. And so you can, whatever of that works for you, great, right? But it doesn't work for everybody is the point we're
Right.
trying to make. But what we're trying to say is that the reality of Homo sapiens living is uncertainty. The beauty of Homo spiritus living is embracing that.
Right. Yeah.
Because Homo sapiens hide from it. And Homo spiritus go, this is what sets me free.
Yeah.
And that is not a graduated change. That's that whole trapeze thing. You got to let go of one to have the other. Now, you don't have to let go of it in every single place in your life constantly in order for it to work. But every time you sort of let go in one little place in your life and you reinforce those new neural pathways that say, I don't have to pretend I'm not uncertain when I am, you're reinforcing a set of behaviors that will help you relax into. But don't expect it to feel the same way. Don't expect it to be processed the same way. Don't expect it to be the same way as you've always been. And that's been one of the big things for Veronica, is realizing, wow, it's so different to process things from what you would call a Homo spiritus mindset than it is from a Homo sapiens. They're just not even close to the same thing. Remember that whole talk we had about you're out of boot camp and now you're like graduated out of boot camp? We were trying so hard to get you guys to see that it's two things. It's not just more efficient at one. It's like I learned some stuff and now I'm going to go do some stuff. Using my learning, but not continuing with classwork. You'll get it. This will be one of these things, a couple years from now, Veronica will be writing a book and she'll be listening to this meeting and she'll be like, I remember that night. I remember how I felt. Now I understand it. The sooner you evolve this relationship with uncertainty, the faster you will feel other things fall into place, we believe. So it's really high priority, right? High priority. And remember back when we were doing the levels and we said, you had the level, it's all me. Uncertainty lets you know that too. Because if you're in certainty, then it's like, this is me. This outcome, this path, this conversation, this relationship, right? It becomes this like condensed thing that you can identify with and hold and be like, yes, this is mine, this is me. Do you understand? Does that make sense? And when you're able to be more in that uncertain place, that neutral observation place, right? Can you see how it's like, oh, if I have infinite possibilities are me. You see how it's all me starts to be more like a real thing? Can you guys feel it? Yeah. So that's how we're never going to forget the levels, because, you know, one of these days we'll get another one. So it's all me. Uncertainty is all me, you know. It's kind of the yes to uncertainty opens that doorway to it's all me. It like takes away the blinders, takes the blinders off of you, so you go, oh, not only is it all me, it's always been me. It's always been me. It's always all been me, right? That certainty blinders comes off. And then you have the ability to go, it's all me. And then there's so much less static between you and it's all me being very, very close to you. That time lag being taken away. See how it all ties together? Is this making sense? So, first step, allow yourself to evolve out of uncertainty is danger into uncertainty feels very different, but it's who I am. It's just start with that.